And we're back. I'm going to go ahead and head into Crypts. You know, I've been thinking just about Draconians in general. It occurs to me that they just make better casters than fighters. I mean, they make pretty good hybrids, but yeah, I was just thinking about it that anything where it's difficult to get yourself GDR, I'd just rather be a caster. But, I mean, that's certainly a direction we could have taken this character. But it is hard to pass up on that electric greatsword. One thing that I think is very fun is to play Draconian as a transmuter, then you get the best of both worlds. You could do stat form if you wanted, but the real fun is the dragon form, which gets certain benefits that non-Draconians don't get. Just taking a look at my rings here. For some reason I'm still wearing resist corrosion, I guess, from slime. I'm going to pop on resist positive, or resist negative rather. And the reason for that, of course, is that I'm in Crypts. And I'm likely to see things like, well, that elf there. Unfortunately, these lost souls here that are summoned by the elven death mages, they will, as soon as I kill something, screen will flash, and instead of a deep elf death mage, I now have a ghostly deep elf death mage, and he's considered to be undead, and then you have to kill him again. Of course, lost souls cannot fix, they can't revive things that are ghostly, so if you just keep attacking the death mage, as long as you can take him out twice, the lost souls being summoned will disappear as well. These ancient champions, I'm sure I've talked about them before, they're fairly tough. They can iron shot you depending on what book they have, or they can haste themselves in both books. And they're pretty good in melee, so you want to treat them as a decent threat. But in general, the scariest thing you're going to see in here are liches. Occasionally you'll even see ancient liches, especially in the Crypts 3 vault. These guys have pretty good melee. Oh man, we only have a fire. Okay, here we go. But yeah, cursed skulls and liches and everything else, I mean, including these ghouls and the Jiangshis, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I think that's just Chinese for zombie. Most of the things in here are like that. They're just damage. Vampire Knights are pretty scary if you don't have MR. Of course, we have a ton of MR, so they're not that bad. Vampire Knights, of course, are known for their ability to paralyze you. You want to watch out for the combo. The Phantom Knights, or whatever they're called, Phantasmal Warriors. Hold on, let me get the actual proper name for them. Phantasmal Warrior, yeah. These guys, the green guys here. You really want to watch out for these guys in here, because this is one of the few points in the game where you're probably going to run into them in conjunction with something that does some kind of hex that affects your MR, the most notable of which is Paralyze. So, you know, if there's a Phantasmal Knight and he hits you and your MR gets halved, and then the Vampire Knight paralyzes you, you know, you could die in here pretty easily. Definitely something to be aware of. So if you're the cautious type like me, maybe you don't even come in here unless you have like 4 pips of MR. Definitely possible to get yourself killed. This isn't exactly a foodless branch, but it's close to it. Yeah, there are some living things like Death Knights and, well, Death Knights and Death Mages and that sort of thing. Okay, so this is an interesting vault. There are a bunch of casters, right? And then inside here, I think as soon as I open the door, actually... Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. I know that when you go in here, there's either a silent specter or it just like turns off the silence or something when you walk in. And then all these wizards get free. But then there's also this curse skull here we need to deal with. So let's think about the best way to do this. See, the problem is that I can't rely on my scrolls inside of the silence if I need to kill it. I think we're going to walk away from this guy. But we're not going to fight him. Let's shout. Maybe not. Let me check on something. See, I really would like to fight the Curse Skull. I'm comfortable fighting it. I just want to have scrolls available so I can get away from it if necessary. In a pretty quick way. Certainly I could blink with my mutation and things like that, but man, there's just too much. Maybe if I'm not sure how sound works. I think that it's completely and totally, yeah, noise is completely silenced, so waking him up is actually a problem. I'm really tempted to just pretend this vault didn't spawn. Let's open this up. Okay, it is a silent specter. Alright. And then the door's open. Okay. This is fine. As long as these guys can't... Oh. What is going on here? Okay, there must be another silent specter inside because the silence aura seemed like it was following me out even though that specter was gone, so... Alright, let's see. I think that I may actually fight here a bit. Actually, I'm gonna teleport. This could get worse, so we're just gonna teleport out. And that's just fine. Even if these things are silenced and we have the upper hand while fighting them, they could just walk through here like this lich and proceed to do a lot of damage to us. So this is better. Now we can fight them kind of one at a time, as we like to fight things. Or two at a time, just not the entire horde. I think that teleporting there was the safest option. Not strictly necessary, but another big fear was, what if the Cursed Skull shows up, and then I'm just kind of sitting there eating torments over and over. Would not be pleasant. Iron Giant Skeleton. That's fun. Gotta watch out, this champion seems to have hasted himself, but he goes down pretty easily. For the most part, the stuff in this branch it's popcorn. You just don't want to be too hasty. Definitely target Death Mages first, due to their ability to make lost souls. Otherwise, you're going to be taking way longer in the fight than you would like. These revenants, some people don't know this, but unless they change something, these guys are actually Even though they look like ghosts, they're actually more like skeletons. And you should be able to LRD these guys. So, that's always interesting. Always watch out for Dispel Undead if you happen to be an undead race. Okay, we got the Spectre. So we're going to try to take out... Going to try to take these guys out one at a time. A lot of really powerful things in here. So if we see anything strong, and there we have it, we see lots of strong things. Wow, this is a little... We've bitten off a little more than we'd like to chew. I see a great sort of Holy Wrath on this wizard. That's something I would very much like to have. Let's wear that. And it's only +1, unfortunately. But we're going to go back to Vaults 3 real quick, just for a little stop in. And we're going to start enchanting it up. And the reason is just, I mean, Holy is an excellent brand if you are fighting something that is susceptible to it. So if we can get that thing enchanted up just a little bit, that'd be nice. I don't really want to do the math on it, but I'm willing to guess that it would already do more to a Cursed Skull, like something that's resistant to electricity, but vulnerable to the Holy, which I believe Cursed Skulls are resistant to electricity. I'll check here in a minute when I find it again. I think that even with the significant gap in enchantment level, it would still be better. Okay, let's check. Yeah, resistant to electricity. So let's pop on Holy Wrath and see what we can do here. Oh man, that's cool to see. Check that out. 2 exclamation points on the attack, 3 on the convulse. So that was a smart move, I think. One shot at him. Not that they have a ton of hit points. I think they only have like what, 50? Let me see. Cursed Skull. Yeah, 52. But still, I mean, it always feels good to take something like that out. I'm gonna see if I can't do the same thing to this Lich. Yeah, convulses. Yeah, the thing about Holy and what makes it so good is I think it's... Is it guaranteed? Let me make sure I'm not lying to you guys. Holy brand. I know that it increases damage more than like Freeze. Like Freeze brand is 25% increased damage on things that are not vulnerable. And not resistant. But Holy Wrath is 75% damage increase. It's just tremendous. I'm not sure how often it triggers. Maybe every time? That's what I was thinking. Electricity certainly doesn't trigger every time. But the thing about, I mean, some people don't know this. I may be hashing the basics here, but electricity is a flat damage increase. Meaning that you want it on things that, like fast weapons. You don't necessarily want it on like a big weapon, so probably fire or freezing would be better on this greatsword. I prefer freezing personally. But it still does a lot of damage. I mean, it's not bad to have. Electricity is an awesome brand, but that kind of makes electricity a way better brand to find early in the game than anything else, because it's a fixed number. It is not based on how much damage the weapon does or how much damage you're doing. It's just based on what the brand is. So with freezing or flame, if you have it on like a dagger, you're not going to get a lot of mileage out of it. I'm going to go ahead and drop some things. Having a little inventory management problem here. Just trying to decide what we want here. Everything looks so good. But I think we can go ahead and drop the Ring of Wizardry at least. I'm really thinking I might drop the Staff of Conjuration, but I should still swap it on for... I mean, I'm not really using much Orb of Destruction, but there are situations where I'd use it. I probably should have used it against that Cursed Skull. The only reason I didn't is that there's certainly a chance that he would just summon things right in front of me. All in all, I think that training Conjurations, like I think I should have either stuck with Conjurations from the start with this character, or I should have, you know, swapped to the Greatsword and not gotten the Orb of Destruction online. But now that I have it online, I'll at least use it. Here's something that's very tough. We're going to use Orb of Destruction against the Ancient Lich. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. What's going on here? I see that a Reaper got summoned. But he also cast Lance of Force. Okay, that's... I guess he just cast two things in a row. I didn't mean to cast Undead, animate Undead there, by the way, if you're wondering why I have skeletons and stuff running around. I meant to do another Orb of Destruction. Okay, I need See Invisible up. I guess I'll have to swap off the Positive Energy. I really need to see where this guy is. It's not good that he has the Tormentor out, but we can always start blinking southeast if we really have a problem here. Let's just try to swing. We should be able to kill him with one more hit. Well, he convulsed, but he didn't die. I'm going to try one more. Okay, good. That was a little bit risky. I mean, if he had gotten like a max damage... If we had gotten Tormented and he had done a max damage Iron Shot and we had gotten hit by the Reaper for good damage at the same time, which is possible, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem, we would have been in some serious trouble. I think we could have died, actually, so that was likely a misplay. You know what, I think I am going to switch to the Holy Brand down here. Oh, I should put Positive Energy back on. Man, we've run into a lot of Liches. Let's move next to him so the Hellion won't Hellfire us. Yeah, this is actually more Liches than one usually sees before Crypts 3. I don't want to say I've never seen a Lich before, an Ancient Lich that is, before Crypts 3, but it's fairly rare. I mean, you'll see them in depths and places like that, but you'll see them on like Za 5, you'll see them in depths, but and you'll see them in Tomb, I think, on like Tomb 2. And certainly they can spawn in Crypts. I think they're fairly rare. Looks like we're coming up on the main vault here. Unfortunately, we didn't get the spooky, scary skeleton head. There's a Crypts 3. I'm sure you've probably seen it if you're watching this video. There's a Crypts 3 that can spawn where the whole map is like the skeleton head, like the mini map. If you look at it once it's fully explored, I'm partial to that. I always like, you know, borderline ASCII art. I mean, I know it's not really ASCII art, or maybe it is if you're playing in console. Oh man, another Ancient Lich. We'll orb him as he gets closer to us, swap to Holy, and swing. What's his book? We still don't know what his book is, but we do know that he cannot Crystal Spear us, so... Okay, there we go. He's dead. How convenient that we found a great sword of Holy in Crypts. I mean, it's like it wanted us to use it, you know? The game just said, here, use the sword. Just hope I find some more enchant weapon. Ooh, we're marked. But we should be far enough away from things that we probably won't have a problem. We find 3... Oh, man. First of all, we find an excellent set of gloves, so we're going to drop our gloves right now. This is the Gauntlets of War. It's +3, and it gives you +5 slaying. I see a lot of things coming, so we'll go ahead and cast Song of Slaying and regenerate. And we'll go to work with our new gloves on. I'm glad I put them on. Mokleb is taking care of us. Unfortunately, we got a Curse Toe. One of those unfortunate monsters that can torment you. We'll walk backwards so that we're out of his line of sight. I think that it would probably behoove us to enslave. Oh, man. Let's fog. Fog is an excellent tool for limiting line of sight against torment. Unfortunately, this dude is... There's just too much stuff around, so I'm going to teleport. I should have teleported a couple turns ago as soon as we fought this stuff for a little while and our mark went away. Okay, that's good. We killed one of the ancient champions, so that's a little bit cleared out. Oh man, quite a lot here too. Oh man. Flayed Ghosts. Flayed Ghosts can use a flay ability on you, which is similar to Torment, but not quite. It takes a percentage of your hit points, and if you kill the Flayed Ghost, you get your hit points back. You can be immune to it if you are statue form or undead. I think I'm gonna teleport again. This is a bit annoying. I see that we are MR/2, which I don't think there's anything around us that can make that into an issue, but I can't say that I like teleporting around so much like this, but what are you gonna do? Let's pop on... Actually, let's pop on See Invisible, because it looks like we actually did kill the teleport took us right next to this, which is okay because we killed the vampire mage that summoned the Flayed Ghost. Flayed Ghosts make me rather nervous. Alright, let's find out what these rings are. Okay, well that's incredible. We can drop our Ring of Positive Energy. We have access to RN Plus off this beautiful, very, very good ring. This one we don't really need. It's RN Plus, but it's just N+2. And a similar one. So yeah, we'll use this. This ring gives us a pip of fire resistance. And it gives us a little extra slaying. Aralek, although we already had that, and 4 intelligence points, which is always nice to make our Orb of Destruction a little stronger. All in all, the game has been, I would say, extraordinarily kind to us. I mean, Crypts... I was having a bit of dilemma before, a bit of a dilemma about where I wanted to go, Crypts or Slime, and I chose Slime first, but considering what spawned here, I really should have gone into Crypts first, probably. I mean, wow. Gauntlets of War and a ring that's really, really good. Oh, Curse Skull. He will still use Torment even with living things around that are his allies. I'm really tempted to quaff Berserk, but I happen to know that that's not really a guarantee that we'll kill all this stuff super fast. It just makes it likely. Oh, man. I've been doing a lot of teleporting. I really don't want to teleport. You know what? I should have bought Passage of Galubria a long time ago. Somehow, I just thought to search for it, and it spawned twice over, actually. And it just slipped my mind, I guess. I should have learned this a long time ago, because that would make me stop wasting resources in situations like these. Let's get that pretty much immediately, but let's take care of this situation first. I am going to use a teleport real fast. There's just too much here. Okay, cool. Now, okay, I'm going to pick up that Book of Burglary. I think you guys have probably seen me using Passage of Galubria to great effect on other runs. And I pretty much get it. If I am playing the game and it spawns, generally I will get it. Because it's just that good. Okay. Book of Burglary. Okay, we'll buy it, we'll drop it, we'll memorize passage. I'm going to go ahead and amnesia off some stuff I'm not using anymore. And I'm going to train nothing but translocations for a while. Okay, cool. Should get it to castability pretty quickly, considering that we have it 0 skill and it's already at like 43%. Something's following you, you can always close a door to end line of sight and then rest if you would rather it was in melee range faster. This is a bit of a shame. An artifact helmet spawned, but we don't, obviously we do not have the ability to wear helmets. I moved a little quickly there, but you may have seen me. I moved here behind the wall. Sorry, right there. Here, this spot. And then shouted when I saw the deep elf because I wanted him to come to me. I mean, that's just a usual trick. You know, a very common trick. Using walls to your advantage so that when something that can do nasty things to you as it approaches you shows up. Instead, oh geez, passage isn't exactly castable, but I'm gonna try. Oh man, look at that. Torment. I'm gonna have to use a scroll of blinking. Yeah, Torment, I hate. I really hate Torment. It's never fun to deal with. Oh, and a Curse Skull is right here. Wow, this is rough. Yeah, I could Lignify, I guess. That would make me immune to Torment, at least. I'm certainly tempted. It's a bit risky. It puts me next to a lot of stuff, and I'm not able to really do anything about it, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. I can always quaff cancel to take it off. Alright, check it out. When you're in tree form, and this is why you should always hold Lignify potions for as long as it takes, for you to win the game, you're immune to torment. So the Flying Skull is hitting me, but I mean, I have 31 AC from Tree Form. I don't know if it gives GDR. I'm swinging on the Ancient Champion right now because I'm more worried about him than anything else, because he's the main thing that's going to be able to do damage to me. Oh man. See, he Iron Shotted me for quite a lot of damage. He just doesn't want to die. I'm going to... Yeah, okay, there we go. I got him with the Orb of Destruction. So now we'll swing on the Cursed Skull. And he dies. Mokleb is being kind enough to heal us, thankfully. And we'll swing on this Titan Skeleton. Yeah, your defenses are not, they're not great in Tree Form. Like, your AC is huge, and that's nice if it's early in the game, but I don't know if it gives GDR. Let's take a look at that. Let's just Tree Form. Let's just look at Tree Form here. Doesn't say. Let's check the second entry, which is just logs and stuff. Well, I am curious whether it has GDR, but it doesn't say. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it doesn't. My experience with it has been that you can get hit for lots of damage, but I could be wrong. What? Oh, wow, you can get flayed in Tree Form. That changes everything. I, for whatever reason, was not aware that you could get flayed in Tree Form, so what I just did was actually incredibly risky, because the Cursed Skull can summon Flayed Ghosts, and in fact it did summon a Flayed Ghost, and I just didn't get flayed, but yeah, that could have been very bad. Fortunately, that didn't happen, but that's interesting. I'm surprised I didn't know that. Usually I don't get tripped up by stuff like that, but I mean, that goes to show that even if you've been playing for a really long time, this game can certainly surprise you. There's just so much to it. Let's read Fog. Anytime a Cursed Toe is coming at you, it's probably a good idea for you to read Fog. In most cases. Because walking to it is a good way to take a bunch of torments. Alright, we're going to go next to him, and we are going to read Lignification again, or Quaff Lignification. Because these death caps, I mean, I'm more concerned about Torment than... Oh, did he heal a bunch somehow? He just got a really good regenerate there. Just turn by turn. Okay, come on. We've hit him like 16 times. Alright, there we go. I was getting a little nervous that this, the Death Mage was gonna, you know, was gonna summon a Lost Soul and then make all of our work for naught. Fun fact, if you are worshipping Fedhas and the Cursed Tome makes mushrooms, the mushrooms will be your allies. Likewise in Zot, if you're worshipping Fedhas, the Death Cobs will be your friends too. I'm not sure if they're counted as friendly or indifferent or whatever, but they're certainly not hostile. Okay, this has been a real wild ride, but I think we finally dealt with this. Dealt with Crypts 3. Trying to see if there's any inventory management I can do. Quite a lot of slots full here. We're fine for now. So yeah, this was worth it. Crypts was worth it. That's why I always recommend dipping in here, even if you think it's going to be a little dangerous for the character. Because, I mean, you can get quite a lot of nice loot in here. Seeing a lot of Guardian mummies here. I'm not really familiar with this vault, but I'm willing to bet we're going to run into a greater mummy. Looks like I'm wrong, though. Yeah, just the tomb entrance. I'll take it. Fine. Use Song of Slaying since we're... Oh, man. See, this is why I don't like fighting these ancient champions. They're just brutal. They can cast Iron Shot over and over, and they haste themselves. I think that one only had Stone Arrow, but still. Okay, I'm gonna pog away here. I don't want to fight this thing unless I'm at full hit points. See how nice pog is? Just lets you get away from situations without spending resources. You should definitely like things like that. Okay, we will go ahead and lignify here. He hasn't spawned a flayed ghost, and I'd rather be, well, of course, speak of the devil. This is okay, though. We can get flayed like 100 times, and it's still, you know, okay, it's fine, we killed it. But even if we got flayed, if all we're fighting is a cursed skull, and it hasn't summoned anything that can do real good melee damage to us, we'd rather get flayed a couple times, I still think, than get tormented over and over. So I still think that lignification is a pretty good move. Sometimes I like to, if there's something easily killed around me, like a relatively easily killed around me, like a skeleton warrior, sometimes I like to kill it first with Song of Slaying up in order to get the bonus. Although I don't think that's optimal in this particular case, just because those ancient champions are able to do quite a lot of damage fairly quickly, and so you probably it's in your best interest to just swing on them and not try to be fancy. Okay, so Passage of Galubri is down to 3%. That's pretty good. You know, I very much am regretting not, not going into summonings or something, because Grand Grimoire has that malign gateway. Wouldn't it be nice to be having a tentacle on our side, like in the Octopode run? Okay. Looks like that's it for Crypts. Well, we have 3 runes, so that's a plus. And Crypts is done. And we got some loot for our trouble. Some loot that specifically makes Zot better, or easier rather, because one of it was resist fire plus, slaying, intelligence. All this stuff makes the rest of our run a lot more convenient. Now, I'm only level 23, I'm not 27 yet, but Depths and Zot contain quite a lot of experience, and I think what I'm going to do is, on my previous run, the Merfolk Gladiator, you saw me rush through Depths, if I recall correctly, and rush through Zot. That's not going to happen this time. I'm going to clear every floor, because I'm significantly less confident with this character. In fact, what's unfortunate is all this training going into translocations is sort of wasted because, well, we're getting Pog quite late, and Pog no longer works in Zot and hasn't for some time now. So that's unfortunate. In fact, we're going to stop training that like right now, probably. I really wish that Malign Gateway, we could get that online in time for Zot, but it's just probably not going to happen. Maybe. We could probably, but I think we should focus on the things we know. I will get a little bit of spell casting, I think. Well, let's think about this. Orb of Destruction is going to be our way of killing Orbs of Fire. So We probably do want it to be a little stronger. Yeah, we'll train up a bit of spellcasting. It's pretty low cost still. But yeah, in terms of the orb run, in terms of Zot, I am not super confident with this character. The game could definitely find some ways to kill us, no matter what we do, but especially if we make a mistake. So that's okay though. We'll clear out depths. Maybe we'll find some more items. We'll clear out Zot, hopefully without too much trouble, and then we'll do the run. So that'll be the next video. See you there.